going on, everybody? Welcome to Comic Hero Talk, where we talk comic book television, comic books, anything superhero or comic book related. I am Jacob Bartley, and lately we've been talking Harley Quinn Season 2. I'm usually joined by Brian Avalosino, but we'll definitely get him on next episode to talk episode 13 and the season. But today we are talking Harley Quinn Season 2, Episode 12, Lovers Quarrel. We left off last episode with Harley showing up to Joker's girlfriend's door to confront Harley Quinn. Yeah, Ivy showed up to Joker's girlfriend's door to confront Harley Quinn, and of course she's being controlled by Dr. Psycho, and they start fighting. And look, this episode was awesome. I loved this episode. This is really vamping up. Lately, the last episode and this episode have been absolutely great. I just think they saved the best for last with this season. It's a personal story. There's a bunch of big scale things going on, like Dr. Psycho trying to take out the world and take over the world, and Poison Ivy being mind controlled by him with the Justice League trying to fight him. And look, this showed me that depending on the iteration of Poison Ivy that you are telling, she is very, very powerful. She was fighting off the Justice League by herself. Not the whole Justice League, but she was fighting off Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman by herself. She was fighting Superman, which is crazy. Look, if you consider her poisons and her venoms and potions and things like that, and how many resources she has around her with being able to control plant life, Poison Ivy is a formidable villain. She's very powerful and arguably one of the most powerful villains in DC. If you take this Harley Quinn iteration of Harley Quinn, and I'm sure there's Harley Quinn iterations that can do more. Can she rip the earth apart because there's so many plants and trees and branches in the ground? Possibly, but she is so powerful, and I love her character, and it's so great. And look, I hate when people are being mind controlled in stories because that means they had no motivation to do this. But it does help that they're having this conflict where Harley's in love with Ivy. Ivy does feel the same way, but she knows it's not good for her to be with Harley Quinn. She'd rather be with Kite Man, who, look, us fans, a lot of us fans, we love the Kite Man character and the Kite Man and Poison Ivy relationship. That stuff is great. So it really puts you in a dilemma where I don't want Kite Man's heart to be broken, but I don't want Harley and Ivy not to end up together. So it's very difficult. Look, we end this episode with Dr. Psycho showing Poison Ivy's memories of her and Harley Quinn hooking up during the bachelorette party, and it ends like that with him finding out. And this show is so great because they took a character like Kite Man that, first of all, I guarantee you 99% of people didn't even hear of him until this show, but also a character that probably 100% of people probably didn't like in the comics. And I don't know that, but I'm using hyperbole here in any case, but I'm just saying, how many people were fans of Kite Man before the show? Probably not a lot. And now I love his character. He's probably my third favorite character after Harley and Ivy. And that's crazy. I never thought that would be the case. They've done so well. I can't believe that this little animated Harley Quinn show set up the relationship with Ivy and Kite Man without having you think about Ivy and Harley, and then throwing you this curveball of Ivy and Harley, and now you have this whole thing that you can't decide. Such greatness. On top of that, you have the Justice League flying around, fighting Ivy, fighting King Shark, fighting Clayface, and it was like a big superhero showdown, big third act climactic of a action movie where they each take out the villain that they're fighting. Wonder Woman takes out King Shark, Batman takes out Clayface, and you have all this stuff going on with Superman there. So many great things, and the way that Dr. Psycho uses her one of her scents to kind of throw the Justice League off was brilliant. Just so many good things. Again, last week I didn't have a lot to complain about. I don't have a lot to complain about this week. And if you think about it, there's been glimpses of Commissioner Gordon in this, but a lot of mine and Brian's complaints were around Commissioner Gordon and him having such a heavy storyline in this whole thing. I will say, I wish Batgirl was a little bit more involved with the show, but considering what's going on right now, it makes sense that she's not around a lot. It makes sense that Gordon's not around a lot. Look, hopefully we have more seasons of this show to explore Batgirl and other characters that we love, but this is just so great. It worked out so well. And we have freaking Darkseid in this episode. Tell all those people who are just dying to see Darkseid in the Justice League Snyder Cut to come check out some Harley Quinn first, because Harley Quinn has Darkseid in it, and just so really cool. If you would have told me that, look, they're doing a Harley Quinn show, and by the end of season 2, you're going to have Darkseid and the Justice League fighting Poison Ivy with Poison Ivy and Harley in a love triangle with Kite Man, I would have been laughed at you and said, no, that's never happening. And it's happening, and it's done so well. Look, I believe season 2 started off pretty strong. Kind of, I don't know, struggled a little bit there in the middle, but I think these last 2 episodes might be the best ever, other than maybe the last 2 episodes of season 1. So look, they know how to set all this groundwork and end strong. I absolutely love this show. I absolutely love it. And it could one day very well be one of my favorite shows of all time. And look, right now, and I don't care animated or not, we're talking best comic book television shows of all time. Live action or animated, doesn't matter. Still storytelling. I have Daredevil at number 1, and I struggle between probably Daredevil season 3 at number 1, and then I have Arrow season 2 at number 2. Harley Quinn is in the conversation. It's right there with those, and it might surpass them. Possibly. Who knows? If this show has 5 more seasons and they're just as great, 6 more seasons, I'm going to have to consider that. But if we're just talking like a single season of a show, not overall series, I mean, I still have Daredevil and Arrow as my top 2 series for comic books of all time, comic book shows of all time. Harley's got to be up there right now. But this season, if this season ends strong, it's going to be in the conversation for one of the best of all time. And that's all I'm going to say to end this review. That's going to do it for me for Harley Quinn Season 2, Episode 12, Lover's Quarrel. I thought it was fantastic. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought, and I can't wait to watch Episode 13 this upcoming Friday. And we will definitely have Brian Avellino on for that, and we'll discuss Episode 13 and the entire season of Harley Quinn Season 2. Well, thank you for joining me, and again, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like talking comic book television and some of the other stuff that Keith Barnes and I do. I will see you all next week for Harley Quinn Season 2, Episode 13.